Hey guys, be sure to like and subscribe. We usually don't talk about relationships much on this channel, but today I want to kind of touch on it. I thought it would be kind of an interesting topic to take up today. I just thought maybe we'd delve into that a little bit. We usually don't touch on it much because there's so many other channels that touch on that stuff. But I did want to take this one up because it's kind of important, okay? It's important to almost all expats that come over here and take on the responsibility of a relationship or a girlfriend or whatever. And here's what I want to say is, the girl that you meet over here is going to be either 99% of your happiness or 99% of your misery. Remember that. And that's the key. And most of the girls are pretty decent over here, but some of them, they can bring a lot of misery in your life. I've been lucky. I mean, we all have our issues. Everybody has issues in their relationship once in a while. And that's okay, that's normal. But I just want people to be aware. And I've seen some of the expats over here that get into bad relationships. Some of them really break them bad. They steal money. They take everything that the expat owns. You gotta be careful of that. It's definitely a risk. Don't ever, 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 ever leave yourself open in a relationship to where somebody can walk away with everything you own. Ever. There's one thing I can tell you. Don't ever, ever do that. Always have some backup money that you can get up and go and leave if you have to. Always have that available. Don't ever give anybody all the freedoms to go into all your stuff and steal everything that you have, no matter what type of relationship you're in. I've seen guys over here that are married to Filipinas get totally robbed of everything that they own, kicked out of the house, have the barangay police get them out of the house, and the guy had to live in a van. Remember that. That's tough. The guy had nothing. Didn't have 2 nickels to rub together. Fortunately, I was able to help the guy out, and the guy ended up getting Social Security, which he never knew he even had. He didn't think he had enough quarters. He told me he didn't have 40 quarters. We walked him in down here at the embassy, took him in, took him up to the window, started talking to the lady there, and he had told he was actually going to be leaving the country. He was physically going to be leaving. I was trying to get him help back home, get him into some sort of veterans home or something like that, where he would get some help and he could live there. And then we also ended up getting him a claim through the VA, which is fantastic. So we ended up getting him some money out of the VA. I won't say how much he got, but he also got a Social Security, and he had more than enough. And it was for an actual disability from the military that the guy never went after, and it was actually impeding his performance in life. Throughout his life, he went with lung issues, okay? And it was from some jet fuel that spilled on him, I guess. So we ended up getting him that help. He ended up getting everything he needed, and thank God he got all the stuff that he needed. But, you know, over here, that guy almost became totally homeless. He was this far away. He was actually homeless on the streets up until we met him. We started helping him. We got him everything he needed. We actually had a woman helping him that was was nice enough to take him into the house, feed him, get him, you know, functioning again, get him, give him time to pull his stuff together. And it was almost like a miracle what happened with the guy because of, what had just happened to him. I thought he'd be living in a homeless shelter. I mean, we went and helped him, and I'm telling you, everything pulled together for this guy really, really in a good way. And like I said, he kept thinking, no, there's no sense in going to the Social Security. I don't think I have anything. Well, I says, let's go check. And when we checked at the embassy, he had some money, which is good. And it wasn't a lot. It was a small amount. It was a tiny, tiny, tiny amount. It was like $500 and something or something like that. But just the same, it's still money, okay? And then when we worked with him at the, I told him to put in a claim at the VA. He ended up doing that, and he did very, very well with that. He did very well, extremely well. He didn't get 100%, but he did do very, very well on that. And I must say, not everybody has that kind of stuff in their background that can help them. Some people are already collecting Social Security they're not getting enough to survive. And if they go through a breakup over here and they have to support a family or whatever, it can be a terrible experience for that person. It can be awful for that expat, especially for these guys that are in their late 60s, early 70s, possibly in their 80s or 90s over here. Most guys don't live to be 90 over here. It's few and far between. Most people don't live to be 80 over here for the most part. Very few. I don't know if it's the heat or what it is over here, but a lot of people don't live that long over here. They just don't. So like I had once told people, I says, it seems to me that the average age is the same as the Filipino average age, which guess what, is 72. And I think part of that has to do with this. Hospitals over here, lack of proper ambulances, lack of proper EMTs. I think emergency rooms are not set up as well as in the United States to save people if there's an emergency. So, I mean, we have a lot going on over here. You guys don't want to find yourself in that type of position where you have all these medical issues and things like that, and you're kind of homeless or kicked out of the house or what have you because of a girl. You just don't need that at this age. So guys, leave yourself always some emergency money. Always have backup, support. Even a place maybe you can go back home to the States, maybe a sister's house, maybe a cousin's house, maybe your brother's house, whoever. Could be anybody. Maybe it's just a friend. But always have a place to go. Be sure that you always protect yourself in a relationship. Relationships over here do fail. Remember, don't ever leave yourself in that position where you might find yourself without any money, without a house, without any place to go. Don't ever put credit cards, bank cards and stuff like that in some girl's hands. Unless you really you're married and you totally trust that girl, I wouldn't do it. I'm not telling you everybody's like that, but especially when you first meet a girl during the first year, I wouldn't do it. After a year, you'll pretty much know whether you can trust the girl or not. But just be careful. Don't put all your full trust in anybody, because you know what? You need to have some emergency money. You need to have something to happen, something to have rather than, so to protect you when you go through these experiences. And they will happen. A lot of guys come over here and they go through broken relationships over here, and they find themselves in trouble, calling their friends for help or whatever. Hey, Joe, can I stay over your house? And you know what? You're taking away the peace of that other guy. I'm not saying, that they wouldn't do it. They probably would. A lot of people will. But a lot of people won't do it either, because you know what? They come over here for their experience, for their life. They don't want to be bailing people out. I believe in helping people. But, when it comes to relationships and things like that, everybody should have some sort of money on the side for that, a little emergency when it happens, just in case. And I just want to throw that out there, guys, because remember, 99% of your happiness or your misery is probably going to come from that girl in the relationship. Could be 50% misery, could be 50% happiness. But most of the time, it's going to be 99% of your misery comes from that girl, or 99% of your happiness. If you're not happy in that relationship from the beginning, you're not going to be happy later, because it always goes downhill from there. If that's the honeymoon part of your relationship in the beginning and you're not happy, then get out. So all I can tell you guys, it's not rocket scientist for most people out there. There's tons of girls here in the Philippines, and you know what? Most of them will treat you decent. But remember, it's those tiny amount out there that will mess up your whole life, your whole relationship. And there's a lot of scammers out there, and there's a lot of girls out there that just like to cause problems. And it's unfortunate, because a lot of girls over here, I think it's part of the culture over here, when they break up with you, they go through it much harder over here. Not sure why, they just do. And they kind of take it out on you when you break up. And you might find that they're doing stuff on your Facebook, or if they have any of your PIN numbers or anything, they might play some games with you. Be careful with that stuff, guys. Be very careful. God bless, guys. Take care.